Hey, everybody. Oh, thanks for not leaving. Don't leave me. I think it's because you hate women. I like that you laughed at that too. Because now if you don't laugh, you know what that means. Yeah, you hate women. Oh man, I found out, like just recently I found out there are people out there that hate women though. I didn't realise. I'm so naive, and just like going through life, like, oh yeah, everything's great. And then I started doing comedy about, and then people told me recently, women can't do comedy. And I'm like, oh, shit. Nobody told me. I thought I was just shit. Yeah, so apparently, but when I was growing up, we had dad jokes. They were the bad jokes. What about the rest of the jokes? What do you think they were? Yeah, that's right. The women jokes, the mum jokes. So, yeah. Now I'm going to think of some jokes. Yeah, so my daughter, she's 16, she was in a class for gender equality. Teachers were telling her about, it's important to respect each other. It doesn't matter about your gender, because some people can do things differently, and you might have heard that women can't do maths. And she said, no, I haven't heard that. Nobody had told her she can't do maths. I found out. So I'm like, well, I just found out then that women can't do maths either. And then someone asked me, about my body count. I'm like, well, for a start, women can't do maths. Number two, that was a long time ago. Body counts. I think there was only one guy I killed. Yeah, that was my first husband. Look, I feel like you might not. Has anyone here married? Anyone married? Got kids? Are you married? It's a big decision. It's a big decision, isn't it? It was my form of gambling, okay? I saw my parents hating each other their whole lives, and just, Dad would, Mum would throw all of the fruit at him, and then the fruit bowl, and he would just get down and pick it up, which she hated, and then drive him to hospital, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, this marriage, okay, I don't want that. So, it's a gamble. You don't want to end up like that 20 years down the track and you're, throwing bananas at each other, not in a comedic kind of a way. Yeah, see, bananas are funny. It's like women. So, yeah, Mum was hilarious. She had some good zingers for Dad, I tell you. And she was kind of a comedian, but in a really, painfully biting way. Yeah, so Dad didn't have any comebacks. So yeah, that's how I know. I think it's been, mixed up, that whole idea. But so I'm just like, oh, I don't want to get married. I don't want this shit. And my boyfriend was like, yeah, let's get married. I'm like, no, I don't want to be like that. What are you signing up for? You don't want 20 years later and you're hating each other, throwing bananas at each other. So anyway, one day, after about 7 years of asking, he says to me, oh, let's get married. And I said, no. And he goes, well, I've got some news for you. Might change your mind. I just found out that I've got cancer. And I'm like, is it terminal? Are you sure? Okay, I'll commit. And so then I was like, okay, well, this is really cheating. It's cheating because you've got a final kind of end destination, you're not going to just sign up for 20 years of misery. And sounds cynical, but all of my friends who are divorced, which is all of them, are jealous of me because my first husband is dead. So you might think it's cynical, but I kind of had it easy, really. There was kind of light at the end of the tunnel for both of us. When we, this is, I'm fine though. I'm fine now, okay? I'm fine. I didn't need any, real therapy. I didn't, I tried to get therapy. I went to a counsellor and I was like, oh, you know, okay. And then she said, why are you here? And I said, well, you know, explain the situation. You know, I thought it'd be good to talk to someone because my husband's dying and, you know, it's hard. And then she just started crying and telling me about her sister who had like cancer or something. And I'm just sitting there going, are you okay? Here's a tissue. Look, I've never had therapy before. I didn't know this was how it worked. I do feel better though about my problems, seeing you there, the professional, and maybe thought about like a different career. So yeah, apparently, you know, maybe you might need a holiday. I don't know. Thanks very much. That was very helpful. You know, don't worry. Don't call me. I'll call you. So that was my therapy, and it definitely helped me. It's like, you know, because I know there are other people in the world who are like coping with a lot less, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I can do this. I'm a strong, independent woman. So, but yeah, like he was, like I'll tell you a little story about it at the end. And so this was like 20 something years ago, okay, it's year 2000, so I just said for the year I was born. None of you believe that. But that's my date on Facebook, all right? No, it's like 2000 something, so that I get ads that I think are relevant to me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, so like it was like towards the end, he got very, like I say that I killed him because it was our honeymoon, and like I just say that, you know, he ended up in intensive care. And then he died, and it's like, well, I sort of fucked him to death, really. Which is a good way to go. But that's how he had an intervention at the end, because they're like, oh, we don't know if we should intervene, we think it's the cancer that's making him sick. And I was like, well, we were just having sex like a week ago. Oh, his dick still works. Okay, we're gonna throw everything at him. They did all the tests, and they was like, yes, this is the patriarchal culture that I respect, you know. And I'm like, okay, let's now get the, you know. So they were doing all that, and then he went into a coma because he was so close to death. And then I thought, what can I do when someone's in a coma? I know, I'll sing, because I don't learn from coma stuff from like Bold and the Beautiful, you know. They sing and stuff. So I'm singing his favourite song, which was Little China Girl, because it reminded him of his ex, right? Singing, my little China girl. My little China girl, for 5 hours. And anyway, he opened his eyes and he looked at me, and I'm like, oh my God, my voice has like made him come back from the dead. And he looks at me and he says, please shut up. That's my time. I didn't get much inheritance, but I got jokes. Thanks.
Paula Ferrari, everybody!
Hey!
It's really funny, she's like trying to say she was 24, but then saying I still use Facebook.